Um, I started off by just finding out the question is, what do you know about HIV? And what's your experience with it?
Let's see, what do I know about HIV? Well, my experience with it is I lost my very first really good friend.
Oh, if you want to say your name, you can.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah.
so I'm Danny.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Providence, Rhode Island now. Got married, so I've been living there 4 years, but all of my adult life was in the south end of Boston, which was very gay for a very long time. So early on, I have to say early 80s, you would see someone that you knew from the going out to the bars. You know, I'm young, I'm in my 20s, right? And walking down the street, and they had what we called the look. And it was sort of really getting thin, sickly thin, and I don't think, unlike other cities, where I don't think Boston had yet started any kind of, I can't remember when AIDS Action started. I volunteered there for a very long time. But then one of my best friends died in '87. That was really the first person I knew extremely well who died of AIDS. So I got sick in '87 and finally got up the nerve to test in '89. And I was HIV positive. So I remember clearly telling my family and my friends, because I thought, I'm probably going to test negative. And it was that 2-week waiting period of hell. You just, emotionally, you just put yourself through the ringer. So then I test positive. My family's now waiting for me to call them, and I'm just like, oh crap. And so I really, almost immediately, put it out of my mind, as if I was going to have a really good attitude about this. I wasn't going to think about whether I'm afraid or anything. So I did, and told my family, and my mother was so upset. My sister screamed and dropped the phone, because then everybody was dying. And I thought I would eventually too. So that's my first memories and experience with HIV.
Wow. And so, since then, HIV and AIDS has gone through different changes, from medications to how perceptions.
Yeah.
And so, what would be a message for now that you either would like to share or you wish you would have known then, like something that's meaningful to the generation today that Broward County is number one in new infections?
I was reading that.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're young. You have your whole life ahead of you. You just don't think about illness and I just, my experience sort of growing, I know what denial I was in my 20s, right? But the stigma, the fear has gone. Thank God for medication, right? Thank God for these protease inhibitors. But I wonder, does the younger generation think about it? Do they talk about it? And I suppose if I was HIV negative, and I don't know how much I would have talked about it. My life then became consumed with HIV. I joined a support group, it was like almost like being a member of AA. You know, I surrounded myself with like-minded people because we all understood what we were struggling with and going through. But it isn't that today, and everybody's on PrEP, and everyone. I don't know if people think that's some sort of miracle drug that's going to keep them safe, but how many new infections a year? So something's not working. I guess the good news is, well, you can get on medication and probably live out the rest of your life without ever dying. But I don't know. And the message for you, no one could tell me anything when I was that age. My parents couldn't. I was invincible, as anyone that age is. I hope kids are a little bit smarter today. I worry that many think it's a disease of another group of people, or if you are gay, it's a disease of, I can't believe I'm 61 now, right? It's a disease of we older gay men. So I guess love yourself first, love your body. The good news, I think I see more kids with healthier self-esteems today, coming out at 13 to their parents, owning their sexuality, whether it's pansexual, asexual, gay, bi, all the in-betweens. And so I hope their legacy isn't mine.
Thank you. One last question.
Sure.
This is all about knowing that that people believe that one, there's a cure, and two, it's just take a pill and all is well. It's a thought process after having gone through and been in it for so long. We know it's not over.
Right.
So what would be a message? I mean, what does that mean to you when someone says, okay, but it's not over yet?
It's because I do hear it, and you can have a conversation with someone and try to get them to understand, but I think as human beings we learn from our mistakes over and over, and we make the same mistakes. It's sort of okay, until there's a cure, it is not over. So give to your AIDS foundations, give money, give time, give energy, be safer, whatever that means for you. I can't dictate or there's been enough shame around this virus, and so I don't want to do that to anyone. If I could tell my younger self, hey, be a little bit more responsible. Don't let, the fear was so gripping that the first stage is denial. And for me, and I was in denial for a very long time, until I got involved and started helping others. Getting out of my own self is just a great way to, so that's the message. Love yourself, be there for your community. As we get older, we're gonna need some people to help us, as any elderly person would, but I worry about the complications of AIDS. Statistics show that I will die 10 years sooner than someone sort of my own age who didn't have HIV. So it's not over, and I want to live till I'm 90 and be healthy and be able to walk and not have liver damage from medication. And so pills aren't a cure, and there are side effects from these medications. That's why I don't know why everybody's on PrEP. I don't know the side effects of Truvada, but I want them to live as long as they can, happy and healthy, and as grounded as possible.
Thank you very much for your
Sure.
time.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Unexpected pleasure.